Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sustainable Lake Management with Global Youth Toward World Lake Conference 20. My name is Manak Bozono. I'm senior student from Ritsumeikan University, Japan. I will be your MC today. We should like to express our appreciation to not only our participants who are with us here today, but also a lot of online attendees from all over the world. Thank you so much for coming here out of your busy schedule. The objective of the youth session is to review SLM Week from a youth perspective and clarify what youth can do for sustainable lake management. Today, we will have a discussion about the issues raised by the youth and what youth can do to take action. Before the discussion, we will have 10 presentations in total from each country representative. This will be Zoom live streaming. At the same time, please send your questions and comment to the chat at any time. There will also be time to collect online participants' ideas. Let me start by asking you one very simple question. Please join from QR code on this slide. After scanning it, you are ready to answer a question. If you search this slide on the internet, please type this number, 9886-3759, that you can answer questions. We will ask all participants 3 big questions in this forum. Please participate actively. Let's get started. The first question is, where are you from? Please type this country. In case of Japan, it's better to type the region, like Kyoto. And this tool called slide makes the word bigger as the number of answers for that word increase. Many participants are Japanese. Australia, Mexico, Indonesia, Hungary, Uganda, Philippines. Yes. Okay, so let's move on to presentations from each country representative. Please send your question and comments to each presentation to the chat box at any time. First presenter is Roxanne Francis from University of New South Wales and Bush Heritage, Australia. She will firstly open the youth presentation as an international delegate and then give her presentation about activities. Please start your presentation, Roxanne.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Roxanne Francis. I'm from the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. I am one of 5 international delegates invited here on behalf of ILEC to participate in the Sustainable Lake Management Forum. Each of us here today is going to present our work in a very short time, in 3 minutes. We're going to try and stick to the time. So please keep your questions. You can send the questions through, but we'll keep them for the end. We all represent different backgrounds, research interests, and jobs. And in that way, we feel like we represent the approach of the integrated lake basin management. So just as a reminder, ILBM has 6 pillars: institutions, participation, policies, finance, information, and technology. And as each of us talk, we'll refer back to these pillars and how we incorporate them into our work. So, like I said, I'm a postdoctorate researcher at University of New South Wales. I'm a freshwater ecologist, but I these days specialise more in remote sensing. And I'm going to talk to you about an automated dynamic freshwater ecosystem mapping approach that classifies freshwater ecosystems according to the global ecosystem typology.
Ora ono iki jenenge dhewe iki.
Can I please ask the Zoom attendants to mute your microphones? Okay, so briefly, what is the global ecosystem typology? So this is an approach that's been implemented by the IUCN. It's a comprehensive classification of Earth's ecosystems, and it's just a global way of ensuring that everybody over time and across borders is talking about the same thing in the same way. So when I describe a freshwater wetland or an ephemeral wetland in Australia, it has the same characteristics as an ephemeral wetland in Iran or Japan or anywhere. The challenge that my work faces is scale, comparability, and consistency. So it's really important that we're all talking about the same thing in the same way, because as a global community, we're trying to work towards the same targets. And how can we measure if we're meeting these targets if we're all talking about different things? So it's important for ecosystem accounting. It's important for the IUCN Red List of Ecosystems. And it's really important even just within countries to make sure across prefectures, across states, we're calling the same thing by the same name. So my way of solving this problem is I use satellite data. So I collect a heap of different variables as much as I can from satellites, things like elevation, temperature, inundation. And then I use a heap of modelling techniques, such as predictive modelling or machine learning approaches and threshold modelling. And then I take each of the characteristics of these wetlands and threshold them out and sort them into what the classification says they are according to the global ecosystem typology. In practice, what that looks like is I have a polygon delineating an area. So this is a part of arid zone Australia. I then collate all of my variables and stack them on top of each other. So for example, I might take elevation, I might take precipitation, a heap of stuff, and then I'll take inundation variables and I'll put them all one on top of the other. Then each pixel, depending on the values within that pixel, goes through like a sorting process. And in the end, it spits out the classification. So ideally, we can swap out the polygon, just run it again, and this would work anywhere in the world. So my email is there. We don't have time for questions right now, but if you'd like to know more, please contact me and I will hand on to the next speaker.
Thank you so much for your great presentation, Luxin. Next presenter is Alon Lukács. He is a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Helsinki. He was also a member of your session at the 19th Worldwide Conference in Hungary. Please start your presentation, Alon.
Thank you, Mana. Welcome, everyone. I'm Áron Lukács. I'm from Hungary, and I work with Hungarian and Finnish colleagues on. Sorry. Yeah. So in the meantime, I'm a freshwater ecologist studying freshwater microalgae, and now I'm focusing on a little portion of sustainable lake management, which is the aquatic plant removal. As you might know, aquatic plants are an important part of lakes. They provide habitat, they enhance biodiversity, but sometimes they can overgrow in large quantities, and invasive species can be present in high amounts. So therefore, they can inhabit human interests, and that's why there is a need for plant removal, which is actually is ongoing worldwide, but sometimes it's going with poor methods that results in undesired consequences. Like, for example, if after a cut plants are not removed from the water, they can enrich it with nutrients, and therefore they can cause harmful algal blooms and the loss of biodiversity. And therefore, in my project, it's one goal is to study the effects of in situ, like what is going on after and before the removals, and also in an experimental design to test what is the best way to remove macrophytes. And I'm conducting this in Finland, but we already have a lot of data concerning macrophyte beds and macrophyte removal from Hungary. And we will have some in Finland. Yes, and hopefully in the future, with the results, we can contribute to sustainable macrophyte cutting. But the biggest challenge is to get this information to the policymakers, and that's why actually I'm here to cooperate with these guys and to create a platform where science and general public and policymakers can meet, so we can make a message to go through. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for your great presentation, Alan. Next presenter is John Toby Cruz from local government unit of Taytay, Philippines. He's one of the proponents of Project Thrive surrounding the Laguna Lake. Please study your presentation, Toby.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's still okay. All right. I'm Tobit. I'm from Taytay. Can we share the screen? All right. So I live in Taytay, the municipality of Taytay in the Philippines. We're beside Metro Manila, the capital city of the Philippines, and we're beside the Laguna Lake. So just like the area that we went to yesterday, we were beside we're in between mountain ranges and the lake. No, so we're the town between that. I'm a municipal councilor, so unlike the rest of my colleagues, I am a public official. And last 2021, I saw this happening at the end of our rivers. This is the end of Taytay River leading to the Laguna Lake. And I saw a lot of foaming happen by the river. So what I did was that I called my scientist friend, Dr. Maylene Cayetano, from the University of the Philippines, and she asked me, can you get some samples from the water? And I got samples and we started testing it. And we saw that the waters in our rivers leading to the lake are actually very problematic. This is the standards for Class C. These were the results of the study. If you can see, all are either super above the standards or super below the standards. What we did was that we continued collecting samples and we proposed a project called the Taytay River Initiatives for Better Environment. It is a model river rehabilitation for communities surrounding lakes. And if you can see, it applies the IBLM framework. And this is the reason why. We are advised by one of the ILEX scientific committee member, Ms. Adelina Santos Borja. This is our project team. It's composed of scientists from the University of the Philippines and I as a local government focal person. These are our goals. It's simply put into 5 major goals. We want to educate and inform everyone about the problems with the rivers and lake. We want to mobilize and act everyone. We want to ensure that there's proper waste management, solid and liquid, in our municipality. We want to make sure that we use science and technology so that we can make sure that we can address the pollutants using science and technology. And of course, we want to push for environmental policies. These are the things that we are currently doing. In terms of water testing, we've been doing water testing for the past 3 years so that we can really monitor across all seasons the quality of the waters from our rivers and identify pollutants and ways to address it. Because of that, we're already undergoing a construction for our community level water treatment facility with funding from our Department of Science and Technology. So again, another application of the IBLM framework. And also, just like the soap movement here in Lake Biwa, we're already conducting eco-friendly soap production with our communities. We're training some community members on how to produce these soaps because, again, we have high phosphate levels in our rivers and lakes because of the soap. And lastly, to increase community awareness, we're doing Taytay Eco Youth Camp in partnership with the local government. So now it's a regular program of the local government where I'm in. We're publishing localized storybooks and officially writing modules for grade 3, senior high school and junior high school so that we can incorporate citizen science and the river rehabilitation initiatives in the modules for our public schools. And of course, in terms of policy, we're already underway and in enacting the environment code for our municipality and allocating budget for this project, budget coming from the local government unit so that we may be able to sustain this and again, become a model to the rest of the communities beside the lake. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your great presentation, Tobit. Next presenter is Mariana Vargas from National Autonomous University of Mexico. Her area of expertise is biogeochemistry of aquatic environment. Please start your presentation, Mariana.
Thank you very much, Mana, for the introduction, and thank you very much to ILEC for the invitation. I'm Mariana Vargas Sanchez. I'm from Mexico, Mexico City, and I currently work as an early career researcher at the Faculty of Science at National Autonomous University of Mexico. Yeah. Well, I would like to start mentioning that Mexico is one of the largest countries in America and also one of the most diverse. So through my career, I have the opportunity to study some of the most important ecosystems in Mexico. But we are facing up a three important challenge. The first one is the ecosystem diversity that, as I mentioned before, Mexico is one of the most diverse countries in America. So it has a lot of diversity environments. And the second one is the limited knowledge about that. Even we are facing the lack of basic information in a lot of systems in Mexico. And finally, the lack of awareness that has led, for example, in the eutrophication of some bodies in Mexico. In this sense, my research group and I are monitoring 6 of the most important environments in Mexico. For example, Cuatro Ciénegas, Coahuila, that are karstic ponds, Chichica, that are a crater lake, or Lagunas de Montebello, that are karstic lakes. We are monitoring the water quality, the biodiversity, the biochemical process, and also the greenhouse gases emission from lakes. These efforts are aligned with the concept that the pillar information in the ILBM general concept. And we are facing up in 3 different directions. The first is with scientific research that is searching to resolve the gap on the lack information. The education, that is another important way. And lastly, but not minus important, is the communication of the information. So this is important to build the ties between another section, another vision with the LBM concept. So thank you so much. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your great presentation, Mariana. This presenter is Sharon Gubamoyo from University of Natural Resources and Life Sciences, Uganda. She's a PhD student focusing on greenhouse gas emission from river system and wetland. Please start your presentation, Sharon.
Thank you very much, Mana. Good afternoon, good morning to each and everyone who is online. My name is Sharon Gubamoyo. I'm a PhD student, a limnologist at University of Natural Resources and Life Sciences, Boku. And in Uganda, I work with National Water and Sewerage Corporation And in this case, I mainly work on one of the biggest African Great Lakes, which is the Lake Victoria. And on Lake Victoria, we are facing quite a number of challenges, as everyone else also faces. One of the challenges that Lake Victoria is facing is the high pollution rates, the high solid waste management complexities, the lack of funds to be able to maintain the lake in its proper state, the lack of political will, and so many other challenges. So how we are dealing with these challenges to be able to have sustainable lakes, as everyone has been talking about since morning, is one of them is we're trying to do catchment monitoring and management through different organizations, community engagement and sensitization, afforestation and reforestation, which is mainly tree planting exercises, mapping of these different catchment areas of importance, partnerships and collaborations with different organizations, and empowering women, youth, and mainly also children. So some of the organizations that have been able to do all this, one of them is National Water and Sewerage Corporation, where I work, which is up there, as you can see. We do a lot of water quality monitoring and management. And National Water has been able to establish a young water professionals network, which has also been able to establish the school water and sanitation clubs that are working together to be able to sustain these lakes and manage them in the way they can in using nature-based solutions. In the same way, we also work or am part of the ACARE team, which is the African Center for Aquatic Research and Education. Through this ACARE, it was able to develop or produce the lake advisory groups of all the major lakes in Africa. And from this, they also produced the African Women in Science, who are driving so many motives that are helping a lot with Lake Victoria and also all other lakes. I'm also part of the Women in GIS. As I already said, we are doing a lot of mapping and catchment management using maps and also satellite imageries using for water quality. This is also one of the organizations that are doing some of these things in Uganda. So like some of the activities that I've talked about, already we are doing some of this on ground. We are doing catchment monitoring, we are doing tree planting, we are doing cleanup drives using different organizations and collaborating one organization from the other. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much for the opportunity of letting us come here and work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your great presentation, Sharon. Next presenter is Koki Kubo from Dosha University, Japan. He learned and researched plastic litter in water environment using application. He also conducted a field trip for learning it in this week. Please start your presentation, Koki.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Koki Kubo, and I am a junior undergraduate student at Dosha University. My major is economics, and I mainly study environmental issues, especially plastic pollution. In our seminar, we conduct activities in various locations. But today, I will talk about the activities we carry out near around water areas. In Yodo River, we participate in the environmental protection organization. In Hose River, we also participate in the cleanup activities for a non-profit organization represented by Professor Harda. As for the activities in Kamo River, this is a photo of the litter pickup that we planned and carry out with elementary school students. This time, we also conducted research on the composition of the litter with them. And through these activities, one question came up. How much aware are people of the connection between lakes, rivers, and the seas? Right now, we are working on a survey to understand this awareness. And did you know what percentage of plastic waste in the ocean comes from runs through rivers? Well, the answer has already been written, but it is about 80%. This means that even people living far from the coast are contributing to the ocean pollution. Therefore, we decided to investigate if people who live near lakes and rivers are really aware of the fact that they are connected to the seas. So the purpose of this activity is to know how aware people living along lakes and rivers are of their connection to the sea, and if the connection is broken, to know what is causing it. However, in order to investigate people's awareness of connection between lakes, rivers, and seas, it is essential to conduct a survey of the residents in each region. But due to a large number of participants and the widespread geographical areas involved, figuring out the best way to do this survey is a big challenge for us. Currently, we are conducting a questionnaire in several cities adjacent to the basin from Lakes Bior to Osaka Bay to see what kind of environmental education and activities being offered to their citizens. Through this project, we aim to encourage more people to participate in activity to protect lakes and rivers by discovering clues that can help them realize a perspective on the issue of ocean pollution, which is not familiar to those living near lakes and rivers, but is highly relevant. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for your great presentation, Koki. Next presenter is Itsuki Okubo, who is from Let's Make University, Japan. He is a member of IBUSA and engaged in conservation activities of Lake Biwa. Please start your presentation, Itsuki.
皆さん、こんにちは。立命館大学から来ました大久保樹と言います。今日はですね、僕は普段学生のボランティア団体イビューサに所属しています。今日は僕が琵琶湖において実施しているボランティア活動の経験から琵琶湖の環境保全についてお話しさせていただきたいと思います。まずはじめに我々イビューサという団体はですね、災害救援とか、環境保護とか、地域活性化など5つの分野に軸を置いて活動していて、学生という自由な立場を生かして様々なセクターと協力しながら課題解決に取り組んでいる団体です。琵琶湖は日本最大の湖であり、約60種類の固有種を含む貴重な湖なんですけど、同時に外来生物の侵略も問題となっています。この水草はですね、驚異的な繁殖力によって、在来種の生育地や、漁業や川の流れを妨げることによって、洪水リスク増加などを引き起こす問題となっている水草です。私たちビューサーでもですね、この2013年からこの問題に対して取り組んでいて、大花の繁殖を抑えられていたんですが、近年、また生育面積が拡大しているという課題や、あと、県民や若者の認知度が低いという課題も抱えております。次に、具体的な活動の紹介をしたいと思うんですけど、僕がこの活動に出会ったのが2022年に初めて参加した活動で、この活動を参加していく中で、僕は、手作業で、水草を除去するんですけど、特に、手作業の、除去作業はすごく重労働で、しかも、この活動に従事している漁師の方々は、高齢者の方が多く、学生がこの活動をする、意義っていうのをとても感じました。そして、毎年しているこの活動に参加していきたいと思いました。そして、今年の夏、の9月にですね、高島市というところで、大規模塾活動をしました。滋賀県庁や、 滋賀県庁や高島市役所、漁師や、民間企業、自衛隊の協力をいただいて、学生60人で3日間、の活動を実施しました。そして成果として約3000平方メートルと、テレビメディア3社の取材を受けさせていただき、問題を共有することができました。いびさの団体として、明確な役割分担をしており、関係者の方々、例えば、行政であれば、予算や、活動地の管理、保全を行っており、また、企業などからは協賛をいただいているといった感じで、連携して作業に取り組んでいます。今回の活動では初めて地元の自衛隊に協力をいただいて、活動を実施することができました。最後に今後の目標として、より多くの人に問題や活動の実施を認知してもらうことで各主体との連携を拡大し、強化していく。それと、早期発見と除去により、生育面積拡大を抑えていきたいと思っています。近年のグローバル化によって、外来種の問題は世界的な課題となっていますけど、こういった各国の取り組みを共有し合うことで、世界の外来種問題、その他の問題を解決していくことを願っています。ありがとうございました。
Thank you so much for your great presentation, Koki, and everyone. Let me ask the second question to all audience. I expect you learned about 6 pillars for sustainable lake management through their presentations. So the question is, which of the 6 pillars would you like to focus on the most? Please choose one of them. 6 pillars are institution, participation, policy, finance, information, and technology. Many people want to participate in some activities. And then information, technology, the finance, finance at least one. No one choose this finance. It is so clear. Okay. Yeah, no money. We have no money. So. Okay. And then let's go back to presentation. There are 3 presentations left from online and offline. First presenter is Lao Sasaki Akari Taira, who from Seiya University of Art and Design, Japan. They also conducted ecotourism in this week. We could learn not only water environment, but also local culture and community through the ecotourism. Please start your presentation. Maybe it's video.
信仰の道っていうのをイメージするっていう点もありますよね。
なるほど。ツアーの中にちょっと。
一生と懸命にずっとね。
なるほど。ツアーの中にちょっと。
一生と懸命にずっとね。
3割ぐらいしかいませんけど、68個のうちのだんだん空き家になって、対象10、情報を言われてもらったので、また本当にはYou guys review.
As a first point of adoption, we propose a system called local curated, meant special place and not only to the local curated. Let's go all the way with excitement. I would like to talk about the system video that was out. Many students, staff, members participate in this tour and active engage with Moriyama to deepen the tour. We are planning to develop that tour into a visit.
Thank you for a nice presentation, Lao and Akari. The next presenter is Yuta Hotsumi from Youth from Seoul, Japan. They have conducted lots of activities related to water environment since they were children. Yeah, please start your presentations. And then please comment and ask some questions online at any time.
はい。じゃあ皆さん、こんにちは。おはようございます。こんにちは。ユースラムサルジャパンから参りました、ホツミと申します。日本語で話しますんで、皆さんヘッドセットの方忘れなくつけてください。じゃあ私はね、今回ユースラムサルジャパンという団体の活動紹介についてちょっとさせていただきたいと思います。まず、ユースラムサルジャパンという団体についてなんですけれども、設立が2013年ということで、今年が11年目ということになります。もともと未来を担うユースが主体的に活動できる場所を作ろうということで設立されました。会員については北海道から沖縄まで、津々浦々もして、メインのメンバーは中学生から大学生までの本当に学生を中心としたユースメンバーということになっております。一応団体の名目としては、ユースのための NGO 団体ということでやっております。ここで先ほどラムサールって出たんですけれども、ラムサール条約というのは何なのかという話をちょっとしたいと思います。ラムサール条約っていうのはですね、貴重な水鳥の住処となる湿地を保護しようという条約でございます。この条約は3つの観点から考えられておりまして、ある通り、左にある通りね、保全、再生、それからワイスユース、最後に下のところね、交流、学習、この3本柱でやっております。では、それを踏まえた上で、我々の活動の目的なんですけれども、まずはユースが湿地を守って、そしてワイスユースをできるようにしようというのが一つ目。それから、自分で湿地の魅力を見つけて、それを発信できるようにしようと。これができる人のことを我々はユースリーダーと呼んでますが、そういうユースリーダーになろうというのが、我々の活動の目的です。 では、具体的に我々何やってるのかって言いますと、まずは日本にあるラムサル条約湿地、これの PR 動画を作成しております。それからこういう動画の作り方を発信するワークショップ、これも開催しております。1年間でだいたい丸1が3本、丸2の方が1年に1回という形でやっております。で、それと並行して、全国のラムサル条約湿地で活動している団体と協力していく。今のところ、5団体、6団体ぐらいとは結構密接な関わりをさせていただいております。で、動画制作って言ったんですけれども、なんで我々が動画制作をやるのかっていう話なんですよね。なぜ動画制作をやるのかっていうと、動画制作っていうのは、まずユースの持つユニークな発想を生かせる。それからタイムリーに情報を発信できる。ということで、我々の活動にもってこいじゃないかと考えました。それと同時にコロナですね。コロナで大体現場に行くことができなくなりました。でも、インターネットを通して情報を集められる。それから逆にインターネットを通して情報を発信することができる。ということに我々は気づかされました。それから最後に、大体湿地の動画っていうのはこれまで自然とか生き物とかそればっかりだったんですよ。でも我々はそれじゃいかんだろうと思いまして。湿地っていうのは生き物とか自然はもちろんのこと、特産品とか食とか観光資源とか、そういったものが混ざり合ってできてるんですから、いろんな多角的にこう湿地を見ていこうと。そういうことで、我々は動画制作をやっております。ただ一応問題点もいくつかありまして、まずはやっぱりメンバーが先ほど言った通り、北海道から沖縄まで津々浦々にいますので、会って話す、こういう感じで会って話すっていうのがどうしても難しくなってしまう。これが一つ。それからどうしてもユースの活動ですから、進学。続けていい？はい。進学とか就職で、どうしても活動から離れざるを得ない。そうすると幹部がどうしても変わってしまう。という点が一応我々の問題です。一応ね、我々10年間かけてきてやってきた成果はこの通りです。これ全部出した動画全部上げました。これ作るの結構私頑張りましたから、しっかり見てください。60本以上動画を投稿しております。それから30人以上ですね、ワークショップの参加者はおります。そういった形でどんどん仲間を増やしております。写真は大丈夫ですか？撮れましたか？はい。さあ最後、我々のゴール、将来的な話をすると、まずは日本全国のラムサル条約湿地、これの動画を作ります。こいつは今53湿地、日本には登録されています。今のところ28湿地終わりました。残りは25、47% です。頑張ります。それから、いろんなね、ところで湿地で活動している団体、それとの関わりをどんどん深くしていって、そして関わりを持つ団体をどんどん増やしていく。そういったことも同じく目的としています。で、最終的には将来の話です。ユース世代だけの交流だけじゃなくて、大人の世代、それからユースより下の小学生みたいな子供の世代、そういったところと世代を超えたつながりをしていきたい。そうすることによって、未来を見据えた話ができる。特にね、我々湿地の話なんで、どうしても湿地を好きだっていうのは大人だろうとユースだろうと子供だろうと変わりません。そういった好きな、同じ志を持った人間が、いろんな世代を超えて集まることで、本当に30年後、40年後、そういう長いスパンで話をして交流ができるんじゃないかなというふうに考えております。はい、以上で発表終わります。一応YouTube のリンクを貼ってあるんですけれども、誰も読み込む人はこれまで見たことないんで、大丈夫です。以上です。ありがとうございました。
Thank you for your presentation, Yuta. The last presenter is Marshal Yalif Talik from SMK11 Samalan, Central Java and Bali, Indonesia. Please start your presentation.
Thank you for the...
Please raise your voice more.
Okay.
Yes.
It's better, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here today, representing the youth as we work together to protect and preserve our planet's lakes. Imagine living in a place where drought has caused water shortages. Without water, life as we know it would not exist. That's why managing our water resources is so important for the future. Before I continue,
first of all, I would like to thank to the great people that help support our opportunity to attend this event today. First, the Central Java Province Infrastructure and Water Resource Bureau by Mrs. Enil Stari. Second, the Central Java Province Environmental and Forestry Department by Mrs. Nini. Third, the Community and Village Empowerment Department by Mr. Eddie. Fourth, the Regional Development Planning Agency by Mr. Nathan. And fifth, the Pemale Jiraton Watershed Management Center by Mrs. Maida. Next, the presentation will be continued by my colleague, Marshall.
Opening covering 2,670 hectares is located in Central Java, Indonesia. It's more than just a lake, it's a source of life. It provides hydroelectric power to generate energy for surrounding communities, raw water for daily needs, and agriculture, and a beautiful tourist attraction that brings visitors, boosting the local economy. Now, however, Rawapening faces several challenges. The overgrowth of water hyacinth is causing siltation and harming the ecosystem, and eutrophication from floating net cages affects water quality. Sedimentation is making the lake shallower. But efforts are underway to solve these problems. The water hyacinth is being removed using a Berkey machine and turned into crafts and fertilizer, as you can see on the screen. And floating net cages are being replaced with biofloc ponds to improve water quality. Rainwater catchment systems are built to manage water flow. Rainwater collectors help store water for dry season and reduce runoff. Gully plugs and retaining dams are in place to stop soil erosion and reduce sedimentation. Infiltration wells are used to absorb excess rainwater, replenishing groundwater levels. Young people are actively involved in these efforts. For example, through an urban farming field school, they learn sustainable practices and water management. They process cow dung into compost, reducing waste and improving farming practices. Youth are also helping spread the word. We are promoting ecotourism on social media, showcasing the beauty and importance of Rawapening. We are engaging students in local high schools to raise awareness about lake preservation. And before I conclude, I have a short video showcasing Rawapening that highlights its beauty and the efforts being made to preserve it. If time permits, may I share the video with you all? Hello?
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Tapa perairan wilayah utara. Rawa Bening, Ambarawa. Label sebagai Danau Prioritas Nasional tersemat. Rawa Pening diharapkan banyak menebar manfaat. Berbenah menjadi satu-satunya jawaban. Rawa Pening butuh perubahan. Perubahan bukan sekedar berteriak lantang, melainkan visi yang tumbuh berkelanjutan.
Rawa Pening menjadi salah satu dari 15 danau prioritas di Indonesia dikarenakan kondisinya yang memerlukan perhatian khusus seperti adanya alih fungsi lahan, banjir, erosi, kerusakan hutan, pencemaran danau, sedimentasi tinggi, enceng gondok, keramba jaringan apung, serta okupasi lahan dan sampah. Pada tahun 2018, Pemerintah Provinsi Jawa Tengah telah membentuk Tim Pengelolaan Danau Rawa Pening Provinsi Jawa Tengah melalui SK Gubernur Jawa Tengah tentang pembentukan Tim Pengelolaan Danau Rawa Pening Provinsi Jawa Tengah yang melibatkan seluruh stakeholder terkait dari pusat, provinsi, maupun Kabupaten Semarang.
I guess that is all from us. Thank you to everyone who has supported the initiative of Rawa Pening and preserve its future for generations to come together with continued efforts and youth involvement. We can ensure that Rawa Pening remains a vital resource and a symbol of hope for a better, sustainable world. I'll open the floor for any questions you may have.
Thank you so much for your great presentation. This is the end of all presentation, and please send your questions and comment to each presentation to the chat box at any time. Now, I'd like to turn you over back to Sharon to talk about the most anticipated World Lake Day.
I'm so sorry.
Yes?
We're from Bali and we haven't done any presentations yet.
Oh, really? So, okay. So,
Start the presentations, or is there our list there?
so is there presentation from Bali?
Yes, from Green Youth Movement.
Do you have a presentation slide? Just speak.
Yes, of course.
You already shared the slide?
We will share now.
Just speak, please.
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone. Introducing us, we are from Green Youth Movement of BPDAS Undanyar Bali Province. And my name is Nirmala Udaza Prasita, and also my partner. So now we invite you to join us on a short trip to Lake Batur, which we will show on a video.
Lake Batur sits inside a massive volcanic crater in northeast Bali. At 1,050 meters above sea level, it's the perfect place to escape the Bali heat and chill with views. Lake Batur sits in one of the world's largest volcanic craters. It's shaped like a cartoon, covers 60 square kilometers, and is still fed by natural hot springs. The villages around the lake, like Toyibunga and Punya, are rich with Balinese culture. There's a temple right on the shore.
Excuse me, it's a little bit not clear. Your voice is not clear, so please raise your voice.
Expectations, high levels of
Your set screen? Your set
No.
screen is off.
No,
85% of the damage coming from agricultural activities, and 50% coming from waste generated by fish cages and household. The impacts, such as food quality decrease, pollution affecting in water supply, and reducing the beauty of the material itself. Like, is classified as heavy traffic with the traffic status 2.5 meters. Biological and non-biological pollution index indicates significant pollution. Levels of below pathogen COD and total phosphate exceed quantity standards with agricultural plastic activities. The highest IP value up to 0.7 was recorded in Adam, which classifies the water as lightly polluted. The younger generations have an important role to play in addressing environmental issues at the Equatorial Valley. He has served the roles of the younger generations in overcoming this problem. First, communications and environmental awareness. Second, environmental actions regulatory. And the third one is social entrepreneurship.
Thank you to everyone for watching our video about Lake Batur. We will now continue with a presentation that contains a description of Lake Batur, the potential of Lake Batur, the problems of Lake Batur, and the role of the younger generation in saving the Lake Batur ecosystem.
Alright, the first metro about the descriptions and potentials of Lake Batur will be delivered by my partner, Brian. For the time and place, I invite you.
Lake Batur is located in the northeastern valley, high up in the ancient crater of Mount Batur, about 1,050 meters above sea level. It's around 65 kilometers from Denpasar, making it a great spot for a quick getaway. The lake is in Kintamani district, part of Bali Regency, Bali's only landlocked area. Nearby villages like Toyobuka and Trunyan are rich in local culture and tradition. The lake, formed in one of the world's largest volcanic calderas, covers 16 square kilometers and is fed by rain and natural hot springs. The active Mount Batur nearby adds to the area's beauty and the sense of nature. So, the potential of Lake Batur is the first is economic potential. Economic potential of Lake Batur supports the local economy through freshwater fishing, tourism, and irrigation for farming. The second one is ecological potential. The lake plays a crucial role in Bali's ecosystem by providing water to Subang irrigation system, which sustains the island's agriculture, including its famous rice therapy. And the last one is social and cultural potential. Lake Batur holds deep spiritual significance for the local Hindu community, with Puno Ulundanu Batur serving as a sacred site for worship and cultural ceremonies. The next material will be delivered by my partner, Oza. Time and place I invite.
Thank you for the opportunity. Now I will explain about the problems of Lake Batur and the role of the young generations for this one. So the problems, there are siltations, erosions, high level of pollutions, and sedimentations. The cause is because 85% of the damage coming from agricultural activities and 50% from waste generated fish cages and also the lake is classified as hydrotrophic with trophic status 2.5 meters. Biological and non-biological pollution index indicates significant pollutions. The high levels of dissolved residue, COD, and total phosphate exceed the quantity standard due to the agricultural and domestic activities. The highest IP value of it is 2.07, was recorded in Adam, which classifies the water as lightly polluted. And the next one is the role of the young generations. So the younger generations has an important role to play in addressing environmental issues at Lake Batur in Bali, which is experiencing challenges such as water pollutions, sedimentations, and ecosystem degradations. So now here are some of the roles of the young generations in overcoming this problem. The first one is education and environmental awareness. Young people can raise public awareness about the importance of preserving the environment of Lake Batur through campaigns, seminars, and educational activities in schools and communities. Second, environmental action and monitoring. Young people can be directly involved in environmental conservation activities such as cleaning the lake area, planting trees to reduce erosion, and ecosystem restorations. And the last one is social entrepreneurship. Through social entrepreneurship, young people can build businesses that focuses on environmentally friendly products or services related to ecotourism, which can empower local communities while protecting the environment around the lake.
Sorry.
Yes.
Please wrap up the presentation.
Yes, it's the end.
Yes, that's the end.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
all I can say with my partner on this presentation. I hope the results of presentation we gave can be useful for the audience and everyone to be more eye-opening in protecting the environment from every place that exists.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, I'd like to turn you over back to Sharon to talk about the most anticipated World Lake Day and what young people can do leading to its official declaration. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the presenters. I will take a very short time. Sorry, I'm having some echoes. Okay, I have echoes. I'll just move away from the laptop so that I do not hear myself in the laptop. Okay, so we have had a lot since morning, and I will just re-echo just a few things that are major highlights and things that we need to know and stick and move with as we go on, as we are working towards the Sustainable Lake Management, ILBM, and the World Lake Day. So we know it very well that 3% of the freshwaters of the world's water are mainly freshwater. And of this, 85% are found in lakes. But what do our lakes look like? This is what they look like. Do we all enjoy the scenery of what we see? No. So what happens at the end of the day? We know that all life depends on freshwater, but very little global understanding is known, and the importance of lakes is not fully known. Everyone has their version and idea of what they have and what they know. So what are we doing now? We want to now create a day of global action for lakes to highlight their importance and to show the world that lakes are important, and in this way is how these lakes are important. So what's the plan now? The plan is to set one day apart to celebrate the World Lake Day annually, and simultaneously to also set this day as a global action for healthy lakes. And on this day, as towards working to the World Lake Day, we hope to create and launch a hashtag for World Lake Day to campaign and also show, to build momentum to what the youth are showing out there, what they are doing towards our dear lakes. So how each one of us can participate is to mainly promote the hashtag that we are yet to launch out and show to everyone on about the World Lake Day, and also to take action. And some of the actions and the proposals that we have are going to be displayed here. And we also invite you to take part. Even finally, when the World Lake Day comes, we ask you to participate and also take part in everything. And as the youth here, that have been here for a whole week, we have been working towards an online platform, which is going to be discussed by Tobit on what we think and can be done towards achievement of the World Lake Day celebrations. So these are some of the possible actions that we are thinking of towards driving the World Lake Day itself and also building momentum for each and everyone. So on that note, I will invite Tobit to talk about the platform. Thank you.
All right. I hope everyone is excited about what's going to happen for the next few months as we anticipate the celebration or the commemoration of the World Lake Day. To prepare us for that, and again, as what Sharon has mentioned, to build momentum for the celebration of the World Lake Day, we are actually proposing, this is our output for the past 3 days, an online platform, which we will call Lakes for Life. So Lakes for Life is a website, an online platform that aims to raise awareness on the importance of lakes for peoples and communities. And hopefully through the information that they will get from the website, we can move people to take action towards sustainable lake management. The main question is, who are we building this website for? We are building this for the following. Number one, of course, for the science community, for advocates like the organizations who have presented in Japan and Indonesia and the rest of the delegations here, for NGOs and NPOs who are also working on lake conservation and preservation. Of course, we also want the website to be very useful to decision makers and community leaders. And we want it to be a space where people of all ages can participate in efforts of sustaining and preserving our lakes, of course, with young people as the focal point or the driving force for it. And of course, we want the website to inspire everyone to take action. By all, we mean everyone. What's going to be inside the platform? So imagine a website where you can have access to tools for education for the beginners, for those who are new to the advocacy. We want the website to show introduction to lakes, introductions to explaining why lakes are important, what are the characteristics of lake, and why should we be taking action in lake conservation and preservations. We want it to be a platform to share best practices and publish research as well. And of course, we want tools for citizen science to be available on site. One of the features of the website that we're really proud of is that we want it to have an interactive map of all the efforts that we've been already doing towards protecting our lake. So imagine seeing the project that Indonesia has presented and Japan has presented, the Philippines has presented. Imagine all of our presentations, the initiatives that we currently have in an interactive map wherein you can gain points if you continue to post projects, videos that are all about lake cleanups or preservation and conservation. So this is just a mock-up of the possible image that you can see there. And lastly, of course, we want the website, the online platform, to be a space where people can connect and collaborate for healthier lakes. I think with all the presentations, we can all say that it's not just the work of scientists to protect our lakes. It's not just the work of the government. It should be the work of everyone in the community. I think that we need a whole of community approach in trying to solve our problems with our lake. And of course, it all starts with connectivity, collaboration, and raising awareness. So please join us in making a difference to our lakes. You can scan this QR code, which will lead you to a registration site. I hope that our friends from Indonesia and our online delegates could also scan this so that you can register online, and we will keep in touch with you as, again, we prepare for the many activities leading to the World Lake Day next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toby and Shalon. Remember to scan the QR code and register. Before moving on to summarization by Stephanie, let me ask all participants the last question. That question is, which actions would be most likely to take? As you know, we will make online platform, so we would like to collect your situation with actions. Are you interested in? Please scan this QR code and choose one of many actions for healthy lake. There are a lot of actions. Yeah, only one. Please choose only one. The most one is educate youth on the importance of lakes. 60%. 57%. The most one is educating youth on the importance of lake. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for your cooperation. Before closing this youth forum, let me introduce Stephanie to provide us with a summary of the past 3 days and our plans moving forward. Please welcome with warm applause.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your attendance today and for your participation with these great presentations. I am so excited to be here today on the day that we are closing a wonderful few days working together with a very dynamic, diverse group of super motivated, hyper intelligent professionals who are working to change the world in all the right ways for lakes. So I want to just say a few words about what's happened over the past few days and my role in this whole journey. Thank you. You can see all the slides anytime. My role in this journey is as a facilitator. I'm Stephanie Smith. I'm from Chicago in the United States, and I work around the world to help connect people to lakes and to make sure that we're able to take action for healthy lakes globally. In this group that you see here up in front of you, we started as strangers. And as many of us do, we tried to find out a little bit more about each other, and we realized, of course, we're all here because freshwater lakes connect us all. And so the journey that unfolded for us was one that surprised us in some ways, really delighted us, inspired us. And we ended up in a place where we were able to do what was highlighted in one of the presentations, to trace Lake Biwa. And in conversation with the scientific committee for ILEC, we were able to also get input and thinking about the future of what will happen to our World Lake Day in terms of being able to launch and celebrate that. As we keep our fingers crossed about the announcement. That's not happened yet, everyone, just so we don't start celebrating yet, but we will keep everyone posted as that unfolds. One of the things that's been so interesting to us is that as we think about how lakes connect us to each other, we also saw on our journey how lakes connect many people in communities to each other and to their homes. And so thinking about both the children, the young adults, the seniors, even those who are not yet born, thinking about the connections that we're able to create through lakes is extremely important. What you saw in the survey results when Mana asked the questions, you saw people want to be able to educate youth. You saw people want to participate fully in working for healthy lakes. Those are really incredible themes that we saw. And we saw that on our survey, we saw that in the around the world presentations from today. There's huge momentum, but the problem is we're not all connected to be able to build and be able to weave that momentum together. So that's why we've worked to be able to create an online platform, or at least the plan for it, so that we are able to accelerate and amplify positive change for lakes. So as we look at thinking about next steps, we know this is vitally important for the lakes on our planet and for all who depend on them. So our next steps, this arrow? Oh, the right arrow, sorry, the right arrow. So our next steps, as we think about being able to plan both for the World Lake Conference that will be coming up in July, and then the hopeful anticipated launch of World Lake Day. And we are building, as you heard earlier, this Lakes for Life platform to motivate and build global action. So there are some key next steps as we build the momentum, and we want you to join us in doing this. So our next steps, as you can see here from our enthusiastic group full of big smiles, we are inviting partners to join us in planning for our Lakes for Life platform that you just saw Tobit announce. We also want to launch World Lake Day campaign for action once we know that the World Lake Day is ready for us to be able to campaign around. And then we are preparing for and hosting a session at the 2025 World Lake Conference in Brisbane, Australia. So we'll be working towards that and developing and then launching the online platform that we talked about is a goal that we have. And we hope to be able to take the next steps in partnership with ILEC on that platform. One of the other steps here, of course, is promoting year-round action for lakes, because World Lake Day is going to be a wonderful thing, but one day is not enough. We know that we need to be able to sustain momentum, build action, and create a real waterfall of action, of change, and of positive force around the world that will really help us to make sure that as we work together, we're seeing impacts and outcomes in the real world that are helping to improve people's lives, improve water quality, making sure that every action we take is in alignment with each other. We're hoping to be able to track those actions on our platform. And in that way, we'll be able to build on each other's work and even build a greater momentum together. And while we may not know each other yet, we hope to know you as people who take action for lakes through the platform, so that we can meet online and we can also meet you on shorelines around the world. And in closing, we have a final slide where we had the true pleasure and honor of meeting the Meta Rangers, who are youth working for action locally here in Japan, where we are, and near Lake Biwa on the river nearby. And so taking the motivation from our visit with them and seeing the change that they're going to be able to create already and in the future, that's part of the inspiration that keeps us all feeling strong, feeling inspired, and feeling ready to move forward together with you who are here in the room, with you who are here online, and with those of the friends and family and advocates who we haven't yet met. We look forward to meeting you and working together to launch our platform and to launch continuous action for healthy lakes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. I'm so sorry to have enough time for answering questions from online participants, but I appreciate your active participation. Thank you all for attending today's forum. Your participation and the discussion we have had today have been incredibly valuable, and I hope you're leaving with new ideas and inspiration to apply to your own work. I'd like to express my gratitude to all our speakers for sharing their expertise, and to all the participants for engaging with the contents and contributing to the conversation. We look forward to continuing this discussion and working together. Once again, thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you at our future events. Thank you. Let me introduce again Yoshika Yamamoto. She will summarize our all activities from different perspectives from Stephanie.
では、日本語で話させていただきます。まず最初に、私はIREC の理事をさせていただいている山本と申します。で、このユースの活動をずっと参加させていただいていて、で、この4日間も最初から最後まで参加をしているというような状況なんですが、まず最初にすべてのこのユースウィークに関わってきてくださった方に深く感謝したいと思います。このような場がなければ、このような素敵な時間を持つこともできなかったと思います。で、そういうようなことを考えますと、この場そのものがですね、大きな意味でですね、プラットフォームなんじゃないかというふうに思います。ユースと言われる皆さんもなんですが、もう20年、30年経ちますと、おそらく身体的にはユースではなくなると思います。私たちの世代に近くなるというふうに思うので、そういうような意味ではですね、この素敵なプラットフォームに参加をした皆さんが、 さらに20年、30年経った時に、よかったな、また戻ってきたいなと思えるような場所を続けていくということが、私たちがやらないといけないことなのではないかなというふうに思っています。2022年のエコツーリズムコンテストをこの草津で行って、でその後にバラトンで世界故障会議を行い、でそして今に至ります。で今回ユースの皆さんが話をしてくださって、新しいまたムーブメントを作ってくださったということに感謝をして、そして未来につなげていければというふうに思っています。今回、私が4日間参加して、本当にしみじみ思ったことは、ユースの活動はユースのためのものだけではないということです。で、このユースのためというのではなくてですね、将来の私たちはユースじゃなくなります。もう確実に30歳、30年経つと、このメンバーも皆さんユースではありません。で、なんですが、その時に若い世代の皆さんと、そして私たち、もしかしたらユースじゃない私たちもそこに心を寄せるような場になるのであれば、このユースの活動の意味があるのではないかと、そのように思っています。今回ですね、このような素敵な場を作ってくださったIREC の皆様、そしてサポートをしていただいている皆様、そしてこの場に参加してくださっている皆様に心から感謝したいと思います。以上でサマリーを終わろうと思います。ありがとうございました。